Social media is everywhere, promising connection, inspiration, and self expression. Yet for teenage girls, it often reveals a darker reality. Lying behind Photoshop photos and targeted algorithms is a growing crisis of unattainable beauty standards, comparison, and mental health struggles.
We're in the middle of a youth mental health crisis in America. This is the defining public health challenge of our time. And I'm very concerned that social media has become an important contributor to the pain and struggles that many of our young people are facing.
Skylar Spot's this influencer we all know from TikTok because that's all we do is scroll TikTok on our iPads.
In the research, we have known that increased social media usage does increase the likelihood or the risk for things like depression, anxiety, low self-esteem.
Hi, my name is Anna Cerrucci, and today I will be discussing how social media affects teenage girls. Many studies show a correlation between social media use and body dissatisfaction. Girls as young as age 6 report preferences for a body thinner than their own, and this appears to increase with age, regardless of weight. Most research on body dissatisfaction has focused on its role as a risk factor for eating disorders.
Have struggled with my body. Yeah, I feel sometimes really insecure in my own skin about it. My legs, for instance, there's that whole entire trend in the media about the thigh gap. I don't have that. That makes me not normal. That makes me not beautiful. I think I've gotten to the point where I accept that. I don't know. I still kind of struggle with that.
I have this friend who's super skinny and because she's always dancing, and I feel I wish that my mom says I'm skinny or something, but not all the time that makes you really think that you're actually skinny because it's from your mom. I wear black leggings because I feel they make me look small or skinny.
Growing up on social media, I have witnessed firsthand experiences with social media effects through my sister, Katie. Her story is one of many challenges millions of girls face on a day-to-day basis. She has direct experience with mental health struggles when using social media. Katie explained as a young teen, social media was just starting out and no one knew how to navigate it.
So I think that social media definitely influenced my body image when I was in my young teens, for sure. I was 14. Instagram had only come out, I would say 2 years before. So I was 14 in 2014, and I remember it was a big trend on social media. It was coming out of the Tumblr era, and it was very much centered around a thigh gap. There was a lot of pressure on social media, thigh gap content, and a lot of pro eating disorder kind of glamorizing eating disorder behaviors on social media. And I definitely was, young and naive, and I took that as normal and not disordered because I didn't know, you want to be a part of the crowd, and, with diet culture and, bodies being, or women's bodies in particular being a topic of conversation. In a lot of these ways, I felt pressure.
Filters and Photoshop have created an unattainable standard of beauty, leaving teenage girls chasing an image that doesn't exist in real life. Katie's experience with triggering content show just how harmful these experiences can be. Every time we scroll, we are met with picture-perfect images of flawless skin, impossibly thin waist, and idealized beauty that is out of reach. The Kardashians are known for their curvy body shape and overall beauty, yet they have been called out numerous times for their unattainable beauty standards. Here we see a picture of Khloe Kardashian that she posted to her Instagram back in 2022. To an adult, we can clearly tell that this is photoshopped and she looks almost cartoonish. Yet, to a growing girl, she won't question a thing. A fan posted her the same day while filming the show, and it looked completely different. This shows how vast the differences can be. This is not the first time the Kardashians have been called out for their Photoshop fails. Kylie Jenner have been caught photoshopping as well. We can see here the pillow behind her is curvy, letting us know that she edited her stomach to be thinner. This next personally disturbs me the most. Kim Kardashian was called out for editing her 8-year-old daughter's stomach to be thinner. This conveys a message to young girls that their bodies are not good enough and need to be altered for the public's view.
For me, one of the most harmful aspects of social media was the editing of pictures. That was very, very popular when I was a teen, and I'm sure that it still is today. But that was, I mean, at least to my knowledge, the editing apps really had just kind of like, people just kind of started to realize how to use them. So it wasn't as detectable anymore. I feel like nowadays you can kind of like be able to tell, like, oh, that was definitely edited. But at the time, you know, I'm naive, 14, 15, 16 years old, being like, oh my gosh, this is what this girl actually looks like. And like in reality, you know, people are editing their photos so often with influencers or celebrities, because you know you don't really ever see them in person. So what you see online is, you know, your only image of them. So if they're editing their photos and you think that that's what they truly look like, of course you're gonna feel um, badly about yourself.
Making that constant comparison between us and what we are seeing. And the problem is that what we are seeing is just unattainable. And if we consistently are comparing ourselves to something that we can't attain, that's a recipe for depression and anxiety. Part of instinctually how we operate as humans, but it's something we have to be aware of, and as parents, really be aware of so that we can sort of curtail some of this behavior.
In a case study done by psychology professors at Virginia University, they found a direct and harmful correlation between adolescence and social media use. Students were recruited from the 7th and 8th graders at a private school for the girls in Virginia. Parent and school personnel were interested in promoting social media literacy and self-confidence in their student population. The sample identified 86.1% being white, 13.9% being Black, 5.6% being Hispanic, 2.8% being Asian. Only 3 participants indicated that they visited social media sites less than daily. 10 participants reported going on social media sites daily. 19 participants reported that they use social media multiple times a day. The participants in this study revealed unspoken rules between what is unacceptable and acceptable on social media. Quote, acceptable behaviors include posting one's artwork, posting pictures of oneself with friends, and posting infrequently. And then we have the unattainable social media behaviors include the following: posting too frequently, seeking praise, being artificial, and posting pictures of oneself. The pressure of feeling socially acceptable by the ratio of followers you have to following highlights these ridiculous
social media
trends.
Impacted my eating disorder and my anxiety around like food and body and all of that specifically. I remember when I was about like 16, like it was very much peak Instagram, like curated posts, like so moved like so far away from casual posting. Like this is like, we're spending hours, like we're asking our friends our opinion on like what filter, we're like, you know, rough drafting Instagram whatever captions and editing and all of that. Editing was such a big thing. And I remember just the anxiety of having to get the right picture or having to get a good enough picture to be able to post it was so much. Like I remember literally like getting into like fights with my mom or like being so anxious if I didn't get the right picture that I wanted. Also too, because a lot of these social medias, like they're built with an algorithm that what you look at will be popping up on your feed more often. And you know, we might be looking at not the most healthy things all the time. So my social media was surely curated with a lot of, you know, toxic and not healthy diet culture things. So I just needed to take a step away from that.
Those exposed to attractive photos manifested a poorer body image than those who were exposed to less attractive photos. These brought up valid questions and also considered the potential of social desirability in influencing responses.
In my senior year of high school, I created a I Like Fitness Instagram page because I was promoting what it should be, fitness and health. But in reality, I really was just wanting to project an image of myself to my peers of I am this, you know, really healthy girl but in reality, I was not healthy and doing a lot of really unhealthy things to keep my body looking a certain way.
I think giving children the space and the opportunity to really identify who they are and feel secure in who they are, which is taking them out of environments of constant comparison. So one of the things that I would say to parents right now about social media is reducing the amount of time that your children are on there. It's not even so much, I mean, studies have shown that just reducing the amount of time will positively impact body image. So not even tinkering with the content that they see, just the time. So if we can
The study stated that participants indicated that their parents employed various strategies to monitor their social media use, including creating an account to follow their child, requiring that their child obtain approval of a picture to post prior to posting, asking for social media passwords, checking internet history, and checking text messages. Participants' attitudes about this monitoring varied.
I definitely have made some changes to my social media use. Kind of connecting back to what I said about the algorithm, I utilize the I'm not interested in this button a lot. If I get anything that I really don't want to see, I've kind of tried to carefully curate my like For You page or my Instagram feed of just kind of being like lighthearted, my peers, friends, um, funny videos, things like that. I also definitely have posted a lot less. I would say I post maybe a few times a year now. And it's only when I feel like posting. I don't feel a pressure.
So, where do we go from here? We need to take the time to understand how social media works and equip young girls with tools to recognize unrealistic beauty standards, question harmful content, and prioritize their well-being over social pressures. By sharing these stories and research, I hope to spark a conversation that empowers young girls to take control of their online experiences and remind them that their likes, followers, or social beauty standards does not define their worth.
Yeah, my advice to teenage girls navigating social media would probably be to limit your time on social media. It's easier said than done. I get it. And I'm sure that I could do a better job of that myself. But looking back, it definitely, that period of time that I took a complete break was shockingly helpful. So my advice would just to be have a healthy balance between social media, not making it your entire life.
Social media may be everywhere, but its influence does not have to represent us. So let's fight back.